Forged in Geekdom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Forged in Geekdom. I'm Jordan Brandis. This time around we're going to talk about Star Wars, where it's going and what's happening with it. As many of you may know, Solo, a Star Wars story, the second in the franchise's anthology films, has recently come out. And while it's a great film, it should be noted that it doesn't really need to be told. I mean, did the audience really need to know all the details of all the characters from the original Star Wars films? I mean, granted, it's exciting and it's fun and it does feel fresh, but it feels unnecessary. I mean, the question now is, there's still one more film left in the new trilogy, but what after that? What happens next? There are many things in the pipeline. Rian Johnson, who did The Last Jedi, has been promised a whole new trilogy. Jon Favreau of Marvel and Iron Man fame, plus Swingers and many, many other films, is going to be a showrunner for a live-action Star Wars TV series. But how much is too much? Or is it just enough? And when it comes to Star Wars, unlike Star Trek or Marvel or any of the other, sci-fi and genre things, it's in a unique position. You've got a whole universe out there of stories to be told. And personally, I would love to see things way outside of what we've already seen. Outside of the Jedis, outside of the Skywalkers. You've got this crazy, interesting universe filled with the diverse characters and endless planets. It could be cool to see what else is out there. The comics have explored that quite well. There's this great series out there called Dr. Aphra, which, granted, it has some connection to the main Star Wars universe. Dr. Aphra briefly used to work for Darth Vader and things like that, but it sort of takes the tropes and flips it on its head. And more to the point, it's a strong female character with a science background, which I think is something that the Star Wars universe hasn't really seen. Or, more to the point, they could come up with new and original ideas. Even the new stuff, once Disney took over, has sort of cherry-picked from the expanded universe that came before it. Now, granted, the expanded universe had decades to play on the Star Wars universe that had already established in the 70s, and it took it some new and interesting directions, but it didn't feel like it really took it where it needed to go. Star Wars Rebels explored some interesting ideas, but again, stayed mostly tied to the Jedi. You've got space operas out there, which allow you to tell a lot of stories. Not gonna lie, watching Solo, it felt a lot like Firefly. And Firefly was a space opera with no foot in magic, no foot in anything like that. It was relatively grounded. And despite Jedis and magic and things like that existing, lightsabers existing within the Star Wars universe, I don't think it needs that. I think it can rely on its space fantasy idea and take it in some very new directions. Standalone stories that don't need trilogies to be told. The anthology series is a great idea. It just needs to get away from the core characters. That's what made Rogue One so fascinating. Yes, it is directly tied into A New Hope, but it brought in new characters that we never heard from before. And up until maybe the final 10 minutes, didn't really connect. And that's the beautiful part of it. It brought it out creatively in a way that had never really been done before. And I think the series needs more of that. Bring in fresh writers, fresh directors that can take it in a way that makes it feel new aesthetically. Of course, it'll never be anything like Star Trek, which is floundering on its own right now. I mean, there's Star Trek Discovery, which was a good show, but not enough people saw. And the Star Trek movies, which, Into Darkness kind of sucked. And the first Star Trek, the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek, was amazing, but it didn't really feel like a Star Trek. That's an argument for a whole other show, and if you guys really want to, I can talk about that. Let me know. But When it comes to Star Wars, I think it's time for fresh blood and fresh perspective. Last Jedi seemed to be inching toward that. And while I agree with the ideas, I don't really agree with the execution. There were too many side stories within there that didn't need to be told. And it was kind of all over the place. But I get what it was trying to say, and I respect that. What do you want to see out of Star Wars next? After this original trilogy ends, it's kind of a wide open, it's a blank slate. Where do you see it going? Comment in the comment section below and let us know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.